and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So Dwayne Johnson realizes he made an oopsie. That's right. The Rock Bottom, realizes that he fell on his bottom. So he's apologizing for his Maui fundraiser with Oprah. And I think this is more of realizing, hey, people don't like the idea of a billionaire and a millionaire asking us broke folk for money, because that's going to go swimmingly well. Hey, I'm a billionaire. My friend here is a millionaire. And we're going to ask all you broke people for money. Say it with me, folks. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I don't know. People giving a reactionary anger, backlash towards The Rock and Oprah. So after, I don't know, October 9th, the wildfires happened some time ago, at least 2 months ago now, he makes a video response. So let's play it for all of you lovely, beautiful people. Let's play it and hear about how he's apologizing for his oopsie.
When we first launched the fund, there was some backlash that came with launching the fund. And I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. And I could have been better. And next time I will be better.
What do you mean there's a next time?
Dan, and I could have been better. And next time I will be better. And I understand, money ain't falling out of the sky and it's not growing on trees. And there's a lot of people out there who's living paycheck to paycheck. And I get it, and I know what that's like. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. $7, I know what that's like. And when you are living paycheck to paycheck, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself, but I feel it's connected. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, I was easily pissed off and I was frustrated. And the last thing you want to hear when you are living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hold on. Let's hear that again one more time.
Paycheck, $7. I know what that's like. And when you are living paycheck to paycheck, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself, but I feel it's connected. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, I was easily pissed off and I was frustrated. And the last thing you want to hear when you are living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money, especially when the person asking you for money already has a lot of money. So I get it. I understand. I'd never launched a fund before, but I'm a quick study and lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Okay. Well, meh. All right. Fine. But that's not going to get a pass by me because, look, let's talk about what's happening in Lahaina on the island of Maui. That's part of Hawaii. I have talked on the show and I've interviewed people, and I especially want to give a huge shout out to Craig Pasajudula, who put together that documentary video of the aftermath of the wildfires in Lahaina. The people of Lahaina are still unable to go to their homes. The construction, the rebuild of their community will take years, not might, it will take years. There will be an ongoing investigation that when we covered it on this show, at least according to all recent reports, it's going to take a year to find out what really happened, what is going on, or what really happened, what did happen. We may not know yet. And as we have covered on this show, that if said communities are rebuilt, that it might be impossible for the former resident to move back in because it will be too expensive for them to move back in because of how pricey it will be. And there have been numerous times that we have covered on this show about people being called up and threatened to sell their land or being forced to sell their land because, let's face it, that is some prime real estate. And this looks like gentrification on steroids. Now, I'm not asking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Oprah to give money out of their pockets and put it in the hands of the people right away. I mean, that sounds good on paper. Maybe they could, instead of setting up an organization, actually go to groups and organizations, go to the local mutual aid centers and help them out. Maybe those mutual aid centers that are up, that have been doing the job better than our trusted institutions, maybe they could use some help. I don't know. Maybe get your team out to check them out. They are still doing the job. I know a good colleague and friend of the show, Craig Jardula, covered those mutual aid groups that are helping out the residents because no one else is helping them, not the local leadership, not the state leadership, and nothing from Washington, D.C., just a one-time payment of $700. And it's still becoming worse. And on top of that, we still have residents from the great state of Hawaii emailing me and messaging me stuff like this because, again, shout out to our Hawaiian audience. State water official reinstated following investigation. So Kalo Manuel returned to his post after the Attorney General viewed a certain personal events related to the Maui fires. So a top deputy of the State Commission of Water Resource Management is back after being redeployed to another division of the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources while the Attorney General investigated his actions during the August 8th wildfires in Maui. So, good old Manuel, Mr. Manuel, is back in office, baby. Hey, say it with me, folks. What could possibly go wrong? Don Chang, who leads the department and services as chair of CWRM, announced Monday afternoon that Kalo Manuel would return to his post immediately. Goodness gracious, Cretaceous. There's no such thing as accountability. He was reassigned to another division at the request of the Attorney General on August 15th, while a review of certain personal events related to the fires was completed, a DLNR news release says. Oh, wow. So, why? Manuel was temporarily transferred to another position after questions arose about his decision to delay for several hours West Maui Land Company's request to release water for landowners to potentially use to fight the fires August 8th. Okay. Why'd you hold back? For the past several weeks, his reassignment has been the subject of much public criticism and a lawsuit asking the court to return him to his previous job. The Maui County Council was the most recent public forum Friday when council members took up a resolution urging the governor to reinstate Manuel, who has received broad public support. I was informed today that the Attorney General has completed her review of this isolated issue, Chang said in Monday's news release. I would like to thank you, Dean Ueno, for stepping in as the acting deputy director of CWRM and appreciate his steady leadership of CWRM during this unprecedented time. No further information was provided in this release. So say it with me, folks. You know, when I hear people say next time, or as we have covered on a previous show, in which the local mayor of Lahaina is talking about doing a budgetary cut because there's a lack of tourists, because tourism is a major economic component to the island of Maui. They're cutting back on fire and emergency response services. So cutting back on fire emergency response services, that doesn't sound like a good idea. We talked about it and we clipped it, and it's available on the Heartlands Media YouTube channel. What could possibly go wrong? We have learned nothing. Well, actually, no, we have learned something, and that is, even in a crisis, even 2 months afterwards, people will still be given the middle finger. The most deadly wildfire in U.S. history that has severely scarred the community of Lahaina. If this doesn't enrage you, I don't know what will. Look at all the towns and cities and communities all across the country here that have been left behind. I mentioned Flint, Michigan. I mentioned East Palestine, Ohio. And yes, even the lead in Chicago's drinking water. But see, it's more than just those three areas and Lahaina. It's all over. I don't care what state you live in, red or blue, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast. Doesn't matter to me. The story is the same. We are always left behind. This is why we need citizen ballot initiatives, and then why we have to push forward for every single state. We as people have to take the initiative so that this can never happen again. It's been happening for far too long. The first time was wrong. The second time's been wrong. Every time we're being abandoned, but yet we have money to bail out banks and corporations and have money for war. What about the people? It has to end. This has to stop. But hey, don't worry. Celebrities always learn their lessons. And so the next time there's another crisis, they know how to make themselves look good and not look cringe, right? Because that's what matters in America. Always looking good.